What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and this is perhaps one of the most bizarre stories I've seen, and I cover a lot, 5 to 6 times a day here on this channel. I cover something that's bizarre or outlandish or hard to wrap your head around, but this hits particularly close to home because apparently, now I don't know if you knew this, but if you drink coffee, you are contributing to white supremacy. I am dead serious. There are multiple articles on the topic. It isn't just some one random cherry-picked one, but this is a new one that just dropped, and it's totally insane. Is drinking coffee racist? How drinking coffee perpetuates... I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? By the way, now would be a great time to remind you that Coffee Brand Coffee is guaranteed racism free. And we have some brand new teas in stock. We're going to have some new cold brews in stock coming up. We've got everything you could possibly need. Whole bean or ground, roasted fresh on demand. Promo code The Quartering to save. And you support the channel directly too. Created by black people for black people, and now a pillar of white supremacist capitalism. If you consume coffee, you are helping an industry built on racism. So only black people are allowed to drink coffee. If you're a person of color, you know what I'm talking about. You walk into a new coffee shop and your senses are overwhelmed with whiteness as you get the glare from the Karens. A white hipster barista lines herself up between you and the bathrooms, ready to tell you non-customers aren't welcome. Oh, so immediately, by the way, most people that are baristas or, work for these, coffee chains, they're generally pretty woke and pretty liberal. So that's just a out and out lie. If you have a white coffee drinking friend, he or she may have even told you the old coffee joke, white coffee drinkers share when POCs aren't around. There's 3 necessary things in order to make a cup of coffee. They are first, a black man to roast the coffee. Second, a yellow man to grind it. And third, a white man to drink it. I've literally never heard that in my life. And I own a coffee company. I have never heard anything like that. Well, I'm here to validate your lived experience. Coffee is, in fact, horribly racist. And there's data to back it up. Oh, well, data? I'm very excited to see this data, to be honest with you, because it sure is bizarre. Every facet of the coffee industry is in fact rooted in racism. From the moment whites viciously stole coffee from black and brown people to the present day Karen sipping her cup of white supremacy. Whites have been able to drink the fruits of our labor and our culture with impunity. Oh, freaking whites. The whites are at it again. This is written by somebody who sounds racist to me. I'm just being honest. It sounds like they have a problem with white people. There's nothing more important to black folks than learning more about their rich history and embracing the unequaled creativity and genius of their blackness. I don't know if that's true or not. It's only recently that historians have begun to recognize the achievements of black people, from building the pyramids to composing classic symphonies to creating the day-to-day life fuel of the white supremacist capitalist system. The history of coffee is both fascinating and tragic, Phyllis Johnson wrote. In Strong Black Coffee, Why Aren't African Americans More Prominent in the Coffee Industry? Working through this unpleasant history is necessary for everyone involved in coffee. For some, this history is a source of empowerment. For others, it's a source of anger, hurt, and shame. Unfortunately, for many, this history is unknown. It's important that we understand and acknowledge this history. It's a well-known fact that whites would be eating bland food like plain bread and gruel if it weren't for the theft of culinary secrets from people of color. Are you kidding me? Okay, so this is a black supremacist who wrote this. It's how it sounds, right? Unless it's in jest. Like, nowadays, I literally can't tell the difference. Like, I hope this is in jest. I hope it's a joke. It's, it's tongue in cheek, but it certainly doesn't seem like that. The first coffees exported to North America and Europe were harvested by slaves, Johnson wrote. Later, enslaved Africans prepared and served coffee for their slave owners when they were not laboring in the fields. Well, here's a weird thing. I have a coffee company. We roast, we grind, we ship, we flavor, we provide customer service. And at no point is any slave doing that. Promo code The Quartering to save, coffeebrandcoffee.com. Coffee first came to North America and Europe between 1650 and 1700, but coffee was an important, almost religious part of the black culture, going back to the 1400s in Ethiopia. Hey, Ethiopian coffee is maybe the best coffee out there. Shout out. After the whites got their first sip of this black delicacy, they enslaved people of color to keep up with demand, turning a ritualistic drink into another consumer product in the colonial capitalist machine. Well, I don't know. I don't get my Ethiopian beans for free. When I buy them green, pre-roast, they're quite expensive. So I'm not sure where these slave owners are getting all their free coffee, but it sure would help my bottom line if I got my coffee for free. White folks drinking coffee perpetuates gentrification? What? I brew my coffee in my own house. Now that it's been established, historically, coffee is deeply rooted in colonialism and racism, you might be wondering what the next steps are. Aren't we all addicted to the stuff? What do we do with this horrible knowledge? If you think coffee culture can find refuge in specialty coffee, think again. This might be the most obvious of some, but I'll spell it out for the folks in the back. The bourgeoisie notion of specialty coffee is explicitly rooted in classism. Oh no. Oh no. I sell specialty coffee. My customers drink it. Nearly 50,000 customers strong. What a horrible thing to learn about yourself today. It's not just black folks. It's not just that black folks can't afford specialty coffee. Well, that's a wild statement. I have lots of black customers. Are you kidding me? So everything that's expensive or specialty is made to... Look, I want everyone to buy my coffee. Listen to my black and brown viewers. I want you to buy my coffee, just like I do anyone else. This is one of the dumbest articles that exists. The very acceptance of the term specialty coffee suggests that some coffee is somehow superior to others. Well, it is. And the idea that is rooted in whiteness, value, like hard work creates better products, is a white idea that is constantly forcing on people of color to justify stereotypes like the myth of laziness in people of color. Who wrote this? You've got to be kidding me. If you can't turn to specialty coffee, at least you can support your local coffee shop, right? Again, hold on, wait a minute. The number one sign of gentrification of black spaces and black spaces is the new chic coffee shop. According to Bitterroot magazine, these shops seem to sprout on every corner of every neighborhood just as it's beginning to gentrify, a phenomenon researchers are beginning to notice too. So, if coffee is explicitly a black thing, right? Why aren't there coffee shops in these neighborhoods? Right? Yeah, sure, Starbucks coming into a new neighborhood as they start these type of construction projects where they push black folks out. That's a thing that happens. Take that up with Starbucks, all right? Why don't you have a competing coffee company that makes better coffee? And then they go, it's time to boycott and divest. Unfortunately, coffee is not the only racist drink on the market. Milk also became racist after supremacists began using the white drink as a symbol of their skin. Nobody actually did that. That was a 4chan meme. White folks drinking coffee perpetuates gentrification. Ridiculous. The racists who wrote this article are the same people who think only Mexicans can eat tacos too. Yeah, I mean, like, okay, so I'm glad to see there's a lot of, imagine the conversation that prompted this article. I'm bored with all the standard racialistic white supremacist tropes. We need to come up with something new. I've got it, coffee. Let's make white people drinking coffee a racist act designed to perpetuate their notions of supremacy. Brilliant! We can start by asserting that every facet of the coffee industry is rooted in racism. Perfect. It will practically write itself. I mean, this is like one of the most insane things. But this is like, here's an article from last year, rooted in racism, coffee's bitter origins. It's all so tiresome. It's all so tiresome. Like the idea that maybe this article is just bait, it's gotta be. It's gotta be, right? It just has to be. I don't, body positivity is for women, not lazy white guys with dad bods. Like I mean, I don't even understand it. Enjoy some coffee, brandcoffee.com, with or without whatever supremacy you think is in there. I think you'll really enjoy it. And our product is available to everyone, okay? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do make sure you leave a like on it, and we'll talk to you again real soon.